Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to address you on a Wednesday night. Normally, you hear my enthusiastic voice every Saturday morning. We were jumping the gun this week because we're just out of our mind excited. I've got Linda and I on the phone, and we've got Karen DeSalvatore, and we also have Jim and Sandy Minio. Jim and Sandy are our newest Blue Diamonds in Montevideo, and that's incredibly exciting. Karen and Colombo are newest Purple Diamonds in Montevideo. And the kind of wisdom that they can bring to this call is unmatched. And so I'm going to kind of go through some of the basic stuff and then have them add some of the things in that helped them and helped us get excited. Linda, you can kind of attest to the excitement that we had after we left the convention. Why don't you weigh in on some of that?
Well, welcome, everyone. I can't even explain the excitement that we felt when we were all together on a leadership retreat in Lake Powell. I mean, it was so just incredible to be with these leaders. And we were, all of us, after, just kind of being with these guys and listening to the way they had worked this, we couldn't wait to get back and, just get started and kind of model what they've done. And I'll tell you, we've been so busy just having meetings like day and night and calling people that used to be in the business that are kind of, just kind of fell off and just reigniting the groups. And it's just been wonderful. It's been truly, I don't know if you agree with this, Mike, but it's the most exciting time for us since we've been in the business.
It's been awesome. And when we left the convention, of course, we were excited for all the things that this team had accomplished and that the whole country had accomplished, sort of a new spirit of incredible optimism. And that was really, really huge. But then when we went to the boat and we started training ourselves and having Jim and Sandy and Colombo and Karen and others sort of talk to us, we came off the boat in most instances early and raced to the first meeting that we could get to. And I know that Colombo and Karen and Linda and I did a meeting in Phoenix to try to educate some of the Phoenix people about what we're going to talk about tonight. And then Randy Keeling, he raced home and did a meeting up in Chicago on Friday. We came off the boat on Thursday. That tells you how quickly he sprung into action. I know Dean and Lori Runzer were supposed to stay in Las Vegas for a couple extra days, and they were so excited they cut that trip short and raced up to Canada to get their group motivated and explain to them the new excitement. And so these people wouldn't do this. We could have been doing cannonballs off the top of a houseboat, but instead we chose to do this because it's that level of enthusiasm that has sparked us all. We want to share that with everybody. After we started doing meetings, Linda and I realized that, we're not reaching everybody. There's a bunch of people that we're not getting to, and there's an incredible sense of urgency that a lot of people may not even know about. And so that's what this is about tonight, is to try to make sure everybody is informationally complete so that should they choose to, they can really make a big difference in their business. So without further ado, let's just plow ahead, shall we? The first step in what we're going to talk about tonight is we've got two things to address. One is just the awareness of the Jeep qualification. And we're not going to talk much about that tonight because we believe that the square qualification and being a part of the pool money is something that will allow you to participate in the Jeep qualification. You'll actually achieve the Jeep qualification along the way to achieving your participation in the pool. So our focus tonight is really going to be more on getting square qualified and getting to have a stake in the pool. And all that stuff is kind of, when it comes at you the first time, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. It's just so much that you can't absorb it all. So I'll kind of liken it to playing golf. Those of you who have played a lot of golf or even been a spectator of golf, there's this thing called the skins game. And the skins game is a deal where the sponsors put together a pot of money, and they get 4 premier golfers. They'll compete for that pot of money. It'll be Tiger Woods and 3 other guys. And so Tiger Woods, the sponsors put together a pool of money of, say, $3 million. And Tiger Woods jumps out and wins 9 holes of the 18 holes that they're competing in. So he gets $1.5 million. Then the other 3 golfers each get 3 holes apiece, and so they get $500,000 apiece. And that's how it's divided up. Well, Longoby's sort of done the same thing in the sense that they've created this pool of money, and the pool of money equates to 1.5% all of North American volume. And when they put this 1.5% of all of North American volume together, they then decide how they're going to divvy it up. In the golf analogy, you win skins and you divvy it up that way, the number of holes you win. In our world, it's based on shares that you can achieve. Well, how do you achieve shares? Well, the first step to achieving shares is to become kit qualified. And what that means is that you have to either be in on a senior kit, you have to be in on a junior kit, or you have to have been in the business for 2 years and been on 200 PV consistently for 2 years. If you, back in St. Louis, the notions of senior kit qualifications and junior kit qualifications took place, and if you bought a senior kit back then, or if you bought a junior kit back then you are junior or senior kit qualified depending on what you purchased. If you did not purchase a senior kit, but only purchased a junior kit, you can actually raise yourself to the level of a senior kit qualification by merely purchasing a junior kit in addition to the one that you previously purchased. If you have not purchased either, you can purchase the new senior kit, and I believe it's $999. So that's how you get senior kit qualified. If you wish to get junior kit qualified and you're not qualified at all, you just have to purchase the $499 junior kit. So let's take a quick look at what it means to become square qualified. To become square qualified, you first have to be kit qualified, and then you have to introduce 4 new distributors in a 4-week period who purchase an initial order of 200 PV or more. Now, the 200 PV or more does not sound particularly daunting. I can tell you that if you want to earn shares, you need to get them in on a junior or a senior kit. And we'll show you why it is that makes complete economic sense. So that's going to be the easy part. We'll get to that in just a minute. But before I leave this slide was created by the corporation, and it was designed for the new distributor. So you introduce 4 new distributors in a 4-week period who purchase an initial order of 200 PV or more. Well, our 4-week period for existing distributors began on September 1st. And so that's why this call is so important, because we've got about 20 days left to go out and slay this thing. And so what we need to do is activate and get rolling as quickly as we can. So what I'm suggesting that you do tonight is to make notes of what we're talking about. If you're not quick kit qualified, get kit qualified, and then start addressing the issue of getting 4 new distributors in. And we'll talk to you in a minute about the sources from which that could come. Of course, it can always come from the brand new guy, the person you've not spoken to, but it can also come from distributors who may have become disenchanted and may have not been on auto ship or placed an order in the last 6 months. And so they're a free agent. You can treat them like a new distributor. So if you're going to do that, you want to become junior or senior kit qualified or get somebody in on 200 PV, here are your choices. You got the senior executive pack for 400 PV, the junior executive pack for 200 PV, or these 3 options of 200 PV purchases. You're going to need to be on either a junior or a senior kit, but the 4 people that you get involved can be in on a junior, senior, or 200 PV. Okay, so now, Mike, tell me exactly how you acquire shares in this business. Well, here's how it works. I kind of stole my own thunder. There is a huge sense of urgency right now, which is why we're having this call. The sense of urgency is that you want to become kit qualified and square qualified, not just for yourself. You want to get the word out to your downline and make sure they become kit qualified and square qualified. So if you work just for yourself in this business and you wait until September 30th to become kit qualified without telling anybody about it, you've sacrificed so much of what you could make in this business instead of going out and really slamming it over the next week and at the same time telling your downline about it so that they can go out and get kit qualified and square qualified too. If you snooze, you truly will lose. So the time is now. Let's go do this. So how do you become square qualified? First of all, you yourself are kit qualified. And in this example, if you yourself are on a senior kit and this is how your shares accumulate, and the 4 people you sponsor in are also on senior kits, then a senior kit is worth a 2. So and if you sponsor 4 people in on senior kits, they get 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 8 points. But because you're on a senior kit, then you multiply that times 2, which allows you to get 16 points. If you do this before September 30th, you get another multiplier of 2 called a momentum multiplier. And so that makes 32 points. The points are assigned a dollar value based on the North American volume for any particular week. I've talked to Brandon Carter. I've talked to Steve Merritt. I've talked to many others, Callie Mott at the corporation. And in the first 4 weeks, the first 2 weeks were paid at $100 per share. The last 2 weeks were paid at $85 per share. I've gotten commitment from Brandon and others that they're going for the month of September to keep this between 85 and 100. The corporation will prop it up if the numbers fall down a little bit. So using the 2 scenarios of $85 and $100, we can kind of guess how much money we can make in any given week. But the formula is always going to be the same. We just have to fill in the blanks differently. So, for instance, when Linda and I square qualified a couple of weeks ago, we were on a senior kit. We sponsored 3 seniors and a junior. Well, in doing that, we got 2 times 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 7, times 2 is 14, and we got the multiplier of 2, so our points were 28 points. We frankly weren't very smart. As we'll tell you in just a few minutes, it would have made more sense for us to help the person who got in on a junior get to a senior, and we could have actually made more money by doing that, and actually we could have been reimbursed and then some for helping that person get in on a senior kit. But let's go through a few of the scenarios of how this could work. Remember, in order for you to be square qualified, you have to be kit qualified. And that means getting in on a junior, senior kit, or upgrading to 1 if you're not at 1 right now. Then, the example that I just gave you a moment ago has you on a senior kit, 4 people on a senior kit. That equals 16 points times 2 for the momentum multiplier is $3,200. One of the things that this slide makes clear is that the pool money is in addition to the amount of money that we have previously received through the compensation plan, the regular team commissions, first order bonuses, and so forth. One of the cool things about the new kits is that the new kits though it has fewer PV, it has more money in it because they give you a much higher first order bonus. So, for example, if you're in on a senior kit, your first order bonus is $200 per kit. That's $200, $400, $600, $800 more dollars over and above the $3,200, assuming a $100 payout. Now remember, that $100 payout is a flexible payout depending on what North American volume is. But even if it's as low as 85, that number is still $2,720. Your first order bonuses are still going to be the same though. So $200, $400, $600, $800 on top of either $3,200 or $2,720 is still a good chunk of money and way more than your initial investment. If it's a brand new person, they'll get a Star Achievers bonus because they will sponsor somebody on their left and somebody on their right. If the new person splits the 1,600 points, 400, 400, 400, and 400 in half, that'd be $800 per side, they'd have 2 team commissions at $80. So if